Okay. So access to the road is closed to the public.
It's restricted.
Restricted. Okay. Who is permitted access?
Right now, the workers of Mauna, all of the workers up there, the kupunas, one vehicle a day,
This morning at approximately 7:15, we had a group of 6 Department of Hawaiian Homelands beneficiaries attempt to assert their right to access Hawaiian Homelands and Mauna Kea Access Road.
My request for access to Holo Holo and do my Article 12, Section 7.
For the purpose of hunting, gathering, ceremony and religious rites. Their access was denied at the cattle guard checkpoint by the Department of Land and Natural Resources Conservation Enforcement officers. Branch Chief Kamakau informed us that they could not allow anyone up the road because they were there to restrict access.
I'm Hitu Keeling. We are Christian.
Okay.
We are beneficiaries. We want to go up there, hunting rights, but also I get my son's Pico up there too, like pay a visit, because he's my firstborn son, and as protocol too,
Right.
Go up there too. Wow.
No, I understand that, but unfortunately, the road is restricted right now to just personnel who are employed up there, or law enforcement, or an agreement we made with the protector that one vehicle can go up a day. So until such time things change, as far as my understanding, the road is still restricted. So unfortunately, I can't allow you to go up there.
Even if it's to go see my son's Pico on the way out.
Yeah, we'd have to make some kind of arrangement for you to do that. Yeah.
So right now, whether it's hunting or spiritual religious practices, right now his access is denied.
Yes.
Okay. And that's based on the MOU that the County of Hawaii Island has with Department of Hawaiian Homelands. And that MOU is giving you the authority to control this road and deny access.
Yeah, via the AG's office.
Via the AG's office. Okay. Well, access denied. Sorry.
Kupuna, we can enter our lands.
I totally get it, I understand, but sorry.
We know from recent news that the transfer of land that was supposed to happen between DHHL and the Department of Transportation, the agreement was enacted back in 1995. There's supposed to be a land swap and some monetary compensation for $5 million. We know that that never happened. And we also know that the document reads that without the state paying the $5 million and giving the land swap, that the transfer of the DHHL portion is null and void because the transaction never occurred. So right now, DHHL still owns this road. So we had to turn around 6 beneficiaries, and immediately after that, we had approximately a dozen astronomers, astronomy technicians, maintenance folks who accessed Mauna Kea Access Road with full and free access.
And so in this exchange that we had with the police, which was a peaceful and respectful exchange on both sides, we were able to ask some questions that perhaps may bring some clarity and some answers to the situation, as we know that this road has been closed for well over 40 days now. And so the first question that we asked was whether or not this road is indeed closed. And we were told the road is not closed. Access is just restricted.
Have the higher up shared with you why the road is closed? What is the reason for them closing this road down for the last 45 days now? Have they given a specific reason other than saying close the road?
Specifically, I can go on my assumption and say what I think they're saying. I would say no. It's just that we know it's restricted just to the workers up there, in agreement with the kupunas, the one vehicle a day, and the law enforcement personnel. I can make an assumption, which I'm not going to do, as to why it's closed.
We were not able to gather any clear information. The best answer we got was that they don't know. So whoever is making these decisions to close this road or to restrict access is not passing that on to the law enforcement officers who are here to uphold that. And so another question that we asked was, by what authority are they enforcing this limited and restricted access?
So again, just asking, what establishes your authority, don't care, to deny access on this road, because we know that DHHL owns this road.
And at that point, they responded to us that they have that there's an MOU, a memorandum of understanding between the Department of Hawaiian Homelands and the County of Hawaii, and it is that memorandum of understanding that gives them, in a sense, the power to enforce this limited and restricted access. But there are some questions that should be raised with that, because we should ask, you know, who signed that memorandum of agreement, that memorandum of understanding? Was it the chair? Did they consult with the commissioners? And did they go beyond that and consult with the beneficiaries? And do we know for a fact that this memorandum of understanding is being upheld and implemented according to the best, according to the interests and the needs of the beneficiaries? So those are questions that are unclear, but we were able to garner that information today based on the exchange that we had. And we also, in this exchange, had some representation from the United Nations Human Rights Network, and they have an update for us as well today.
My name is Rosalie Gonzalez, and I address you as the Executive Director of the U.S. Human Rights Network. We're a nonprofit NGO made up of 300 national member organizations from civil society across the United States. We work on multiple human rights issues across this country. We're here as human rights observers, working closely with our partners at the United Nations to identify and address human rights violations within the U.S. We're here to support the Kanaka Maoli and report on the human rights violations we've observed, including what we observed this morning. This morning, I witnessed 6 vehicles of indigenous peoples and 1 group of elders walking on foot, each denied access to Mauna Kea Access Road.
So you're saying that we don't have the ability to access to the
So access denied
On this road.
on this road.
But it's
The only road that leads to Mauna Kea Mountain. We believe that human rights violations are occurring here, including violations of the standards set by the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. The United States, including the states of Hawaii, is obligated to respect the cultural and religious customs of indigenous Hawaiians. We have been in communication with the governor and the mayor after circulating a petition against the construction of the 30-meter telescope project on Mauna Kea, Sacred Mountains, signed by over 50 national civil society organizations, academic institutions, and indigenous groups around the world. I've requested a meeting with Governor Ihe and look forward to his office's response. The U.S. Human Rights Network will be supporting the protectors in order for them to engage with the United Nations systems, and we will be reaching out to UN special procedures, which include special rapporteurs and working groups regarding this issue. We will continue to stand in solidarity with the indigenous people of Hawaii and demand that their rights be respected. Thank you.
And my name is Salima Hankins, and I'm the Deputy Director of the U.S. Human Rights Network, and I work with Rosalie, and we will be sure to keep you updated if we have any additional information. Thank you.